Here are the directions for Topic 11, Lesson 11-6, called Ways to Move Shapes. In this lesson on the front, we've talked about ways you can move shapes, which are translation, reflection, and rotation. So on the guided practice page that you see in front of you, it says Guided Practice. Use the block to show a translation, a reflection, and a rotation. Trace the shape in its new place. So what you can do with your pattern block is you can trace your green triangle to show a reflection. They've already done the translation for you in the first box, so now you can draw the reflection in the second box. And this is how it will look. When you place your triangle down, a reflection is like you flipped the triangle over, and this is its reflection. Okay? So that little black dot would be right here. Okay? Then you would rotate your green triangle, and if you rotated it, then you would trace your triangle to look like this. Okay? It rotated with your black dot down below. And as you can see, my stylus that I'm using from home does not work the best. So if it is kind of a delay when I'm trying to write and talk at the same time, it's because my stylus is not working very well. Okay, moving on to number 2. Number 2 you have to do on your own. They did not give you any examples. So you're going to take your parallelogram and you are going to show what it looks like in a translation. Now remember, when a shape is in translation, it just slides over. So if you were to slide the parallelogram over, this is what it would look like, okay? It would just slide over. And again, my stylus is not the best, but you can get the idea. And then this is where the little black dot would be. You would just slide it over, okay? Then, remember, for reflection, you would flip your parallelogram over, and if you were to flip it over and trace it, it would look like this, okay? And your shape, again, is going to look a little bit better than mine because you will be tracing it. What I am doing here is freehanding it. And then the rotation, when you would turn your parallelogram to rotate it, it may look like this. Okay, and then the black dot of the shape would be down here because you have rotated it. Okay? Alright, now we're going to look at, do you understand at the bottom? Do you understand says, is this a reflection or a translation? Explain. Well, by looking at that parallelogram they've given you here, these two parallelograms, is that a reflection or a translation? Remember, a reflection is when you flip the shape over. It's like a reflection like you would see in the mirror. And a translation would be just if you slid that parallelogram over, it would just look like you slid it over, and it would be the same shape again in the same spot, just moved over. So, as you can see by looking at the two shapes there, you should have thought it was a reflection. And if you did, that is correct. So you will need to write the word reflection. Okay? All right. Moving on to independent practice. Switch to, which looks like this. And slide number 2 is independent practice. So you will be doing this on your own. And the directions here say, is it a translation a reflection, or a rotation? Circle the answer. So, looking at number 3, is that triangle, did it move with translation by just sliding it over? Did it move with reflection by just flipping it over? Or did it rotate? Was it a rotation? You have to circle what you think or how you think the shape moved. Okay? Same with number 4. Did that shape move in translation, reflection, or rotation? Same in number 5, and same with number 6. I'm going to have you do those on your own, so you won't see me circling anything on 4, 5, and 6. And number 7 says, this is a rotation pattern. Draw the shape in its next position. So, that is like a diamond shape. So you would have to draw the shape in the next position in where this circle is. You don't need to draw the circle that I drew there. You would just draw that shape in its next position of where it would go there in that circle. Try your best, and if you still need help with that, raise your hand and I will help you. Okay, moving on to the back side. Looks like this, and on the back, whoops, excuse me, I gotta erase that mark, go back to the finger. Number 8, solve the problem. Gail made a pattern with a letter. Draw the next letter in the pattern. Is this a translation, reflection, or a rotation pattern? So you would draw the next letter. Again, you don't have to draw this box, but that's where the next letter would go. Okay, in that pattern, which way would the C go? You draw it in this box that I've drawn here, and then you would write on the line, is it translation, reflection, or rotation that the letters C is following in number 8. Number 9, which shows the shape in its next position? So again, if this was a pattern, okay, which way would the shape be next? And they've given you the option of A, B, C, or D. And then in number 10, it says create a pattern with reflections, okay? And again, remember, reflection is just like the shape is flipping over. Okay, so you get to make up your own shape and then draw its reflection. Okay? At any time during this lesson, if you need help, please pause and rewind and listen to my voice again teaching it, or you can raise your hand and I will come over and help you, okay? You can always use the top of your math paper, the Visual Learning Bridge, in case you forget what one of those words means, the translation, reflection, or rotation. Or you can look at the activity that we did earlier today on the blue paper, where we wrote each definition with each of the red trapezoids to help you remember what those words meant. Okay? And again, if you have any questions, please raise your hand for help. Good job, and when you're done, please put it on the yellow table. Thank you.